Recently, the news that a bank president becomes an extra after retirement appeared on the hot searches in China, attracting the attention of netizens. According to reports, Mr. Fu was the president of a bank branch before retiring and became an extra actor after retirement. According to rough calculations, he has filmed 271 scenes. From 2016 to 2020, he has acted as an imperial physician, doctor, engineer, scientist, psychologist, and old fairy. He once participated in a movie directed by Feng Xiaogang and was called professional actor, who plays the chairman by People in the Circle. For retirement life, there are many stereotypes in society. It should be busy, after retiring from the workplace, then move to the family and take care of grandchildren. It should also be leisurely, sleeping until you wake up naturally every day, playing endless mahjong, traveling and dancing in the square. But for Mr. Fu, perhaps there's still some loneliness, shrouded in the desolation of being forgotten. Therefore, Mr. Fu decided to make his retirement life different. He said that planning his retirement life early has fulfilled his dream of being a writer and acting. From the head of a bank branch to a group performer, the huge gap made him mixed tastes, but he never felt that he had retired, but just changed jobs. I always feel that I am not old and I don't have enough time. I want to live a meaningful life. Some questioning voices may be out of compassion, distressed that the elderly still have to work. But many things can't just look at the surface. After understanding the inside story, starting from the standpoint and situation of the parties, it may suddenly become clear. The former president of the bank pursued his dream of being in the film and television industry because he had this dream when he was young. It is reported that when Mr. Fu was young, he liked writing. After retiring, he started writing novels and wanted to make his novels into film and television dramas. So he was suggested to go to the film studio as a group performer first, enter the film and television industry, and meet some people. It is worth mentioning that the old people who return to the workplace are not all outdated. Their rich social experience and wisdom in dealing with others will bring some unexpected surprises to enterprises. For example, Mr. Fu, with his professional experience, he is very suitable for certain roles, and he can also advise editors. I have nothing else to do in my life, just hold meetings. Meetings are my specialty. Only when you're working, doing something you love, when you create, you are truly alive. For Mr. Fu, retiring is to start afresh on another path, allowing him to make another choice. He has something to do every day, has a little leisure time, and has a little longing. This kind of living state is believed to make many young people envious. Retiring without rest and making a difference means that the society should look at the elderly with a new look, understand and respect their choices, listen to their actual needs, and do their best to create a good re-employment environment for them. According to Red Star News, as of 2021, China's population aged 60 and over will exceed 267 million, accounting for 18.9% of the country's total population. Among them, the young elderly population aged 60 to 69 accounted for more than half of the elderly population aged 60 and above. Quite a few of them still have the willingness and ability to work, which can be seen from the registration data after the launch of the China Elderly Talents Network. According to reports, on August 26th, 2 days after the launch of the China Elderly Talents Network, sponsored by the China Aging Association's Elderly Talent Information Center, more than 5,000 middle-aged and elderly job seekers, and more than 100 recruiting companies have registered. When it comes to the employment of the elderly, we have to mention China's serious population aging problem. The National Bureau of Statistics of China will announce the main data results of the 7th National Population Census in 2020. The data shows that the population aged 0-14 is 253.38 million, accounting for 17.95%. The population aged 15-59 is 894.38 million, accounting for 63.35%. The population aged 60 and over is 264.02 million, accounting for 18.7%. Among them, the above population is 190.64 million, accounting for 13.5%. With the further deepening of population aging, China's economy will face pressure from population development for a period of time in the future. Population aging is the result of the joint action of two forces: the decline in fertility rate and the increase in average life expectancy. From the experience of developed countries, when the economy develops to a certain level, the fertility rate will naturally decline due to the increase in the cost of raising children. Due to the abundance of medical resources, the average life expectancy will be extended, so there will be an aging population. When the developed countries in the world enter the aging society, the per capita GDP is generally above $10,000. For example, the United States entered the aging society in 1950 with a per capita GDP of $10,645. Japan in 1970 with a per capita GDP of $11,579. South Korea and Singapore were both in 2000 with per capita GDPs of $17,380 and $23,356 respectively. China also entered the aging society in 2000, and its per capita GDP was only $946, 16 times less than South Korea and 22 times less than Singapore. Given China's miracle of economic development, why is this happening? Because of Planned Parenthood. This is a quick project to artificially age the Chinese. China was still an adult society in 1982, 5% of the population over 60 years old. The implementation of the family planning policy has reduced 3.62 million newborn babies each year, while the population of people over 65 years old has increased by 2.77 million each year. So it took only 18 years to complete the transition to an aging society. The elderly over 60 accounted for 10%. The same process took 80 years in Britain, 60 years in the United States, and 40 years in Germany. Before the economy has developed to a certain level, the population is artificially aging. What's even more frightening is that even after the two-child policy was lifted, China's fertility rate has gradually decreased, and it is already at the forefront of the world. In the first half of 2022, China's birth rate is 8.52 per thousand, falling below 10 per thousand for the first time. 8.52 per thousand is the lowest since the founding of the People's Republic of China, and the highest year was 1963, reaching 43.6 per thousand. In fact, since 2000, China's birth rate has been hovering at a low level, always below 13 per thousand, and dropped to 11.9 per thousand in 2010. How low is 8.52 per thousand? Many people may not have a concept yet. With such a developed economy in neighboring South Korea, the birth rate in 2022 will be 8.4 per thousand, which is only a little lower than that of China. And Japan, which has the most aging population, is unwilling to get married, and has entered a low desire society, will have a birth rate of 13.4 per thousand in 2022, which is much higher than that of China. In most parts of Europe in 2022, the birth rate will be higher than that of China. In contrast, the birth rate in 2022 will drop by 1.89 per thousand year on year. Why has it decreased so much? First of all, because of the epidemic in 2022, many industries will be greatly affected, especially tourism, aviation, catering, and other industries. The income of enterprises is affected, and the direct result is layoffs, salary cuts, and so on. In such an environment, many people are unable to start a family and will postpone the idea of having children. Second, the number of marriages has plummeted. In 2022, the number of registered marriages in China will be 8.131 million, which is only 60% of that in 2013. The marriage rate will drop from 8.3% in 2016 to 5.8% in 2022. Without marriage, the birth population will naturally decline. Of course, there are two mountains that we often say are pressing on childbearing. One is high housing prices, and the other is high childcare costs. The two are closely related. In China, education and housing are inseparable, which is what we call school district housing, and housing and educational resources in different areas are also different. If you don't have a house, you can only go to some public or private schools with poor educational conditions. Faced with this situation, many people would rather not get married or have children. It can be foreseen that China's biggest challenge in the future will not come from the outside, but from the aging population and low birth rate at home.